off the bench. It's a big contest here in Townsville. As we all know, such a tough week for the game. But the footy marches on. Parramatta to have first use of it. And Kalis with the first hit up. Intriguing battle when you look at the stats of these two sides this year. Now Moi, their starts have been very poor. Parramatta have not led at half-time in a game this year. As Hindmarsh gets his first touch now. Thrown down by the two front rowers, Webb and also Scott. Keating works to the right. But in first scoring plays, both these teams have failed to come up with the first try in all 6 of their games this year. So you go figure who's going to score the first try tonight. And Parramatta on tackle 5, 35 metres out from their own line. Played by Kalis. It's away for Chris Keating off Jeff Robson, who again is dummy half tonight. The kick fielded by Michael Barney. He returns to first grade this week. And a good chase on the kick and a good tackle to start it all off. It was Robson who got there first. And now Shannon Gallant with it. His 4th game in the Cowboys colours tonight. Saw Matty Bowen at the ground earlier tonight. He's still a few weeks away, but getting better with every day. Coming back from his knee problems. Right on halfway. Watts sent it upright. Mason has his first hit up. And little Daniel Mortimer sort of sprung out of the tackle there. Good first charge from Mason. And here is Rapira now. And, locked forward, 35 away from the Parramatta line. Last tackle play. And with young Thompson, what a thrill for him playing alongside Thurston in the halves. Burt is the man who fielded it. And Burt is the man tackled 5 away from the line. Also on commentary tonight, Brad Fittler and Andrew Johns. Yeah,
it was interesting. First set of 6 the Cowboys received. Young halfback Ray Thompson overcalled the play and kicked downfield. The dominant force Thurston happy to sit back.
Offload there from Hindmarsh. Promotes it for Parramatta. Moi almost over the 30-metre line. It was Watts around the legs of the front rower who has signed a new deal this week, finally confirming a 2-year contract. Hayne gets a touch on the 40. Wrapped up by Thompson. Now Robson, they go left side for Mortimer to kick to the corner. It's over the head of Gallant. The bounces then over his head a second time, and then out in front he may have almost lost it at the finish. Well, you didn't see that coming, being such a difficult assignment there. Shannon Gallant, as Barney goes across field and Williams gets involved. Freddie Fittler comes up to Townsville tonight. It's great news to have Thurston in the game, in the battle, as the Cowboys get their first penalty. What about the difference it makes to this side? Everyone lifted the moment the news came through.
Absolutely. It's a shame that the fans didn't hear in time. You know, the crowd's a bit down today. The thing that you see straight away, they're organised, they're confident. You see blokes in their right position. They've brought Ashley Green back out to the right side. You got Willie Tonga still over their left. John Williams is over there on the left. Straight away they look more organised, they look more confident. They're coming off the line in defence.
We've got Tim Gilbert on the sideline tonight to document exactly how the last 24 hours has been for Jonathan Thurston as Carl Webb comes up with a big run. And Watts is there 20 metres out from the line. Mason rips into them again. He's only 12 metres away from the line, but there's some encouraging signs here for the Cowboys. They've scored only 30 points in first halves this year. Here's Thurston going away for Gallant. He's got a good step. Straightened and tackled by Smith and Keating. 5 from the line. Watts away for Thurston. He's got 25 on his back tonight, Thurston. That would be a first for the career. Played by Rapira. Watts to Thurston. Goes left and it was on for Bolton. Running at Keating. Kalis to Hayne. Hello! Hayne almost back to the 40. There was a light on and no one home there for the Cowboys, and Hayne was almost away. Ready right across field, picked up by Carl Webb. Then back with Mortimer, and it steadies down for just a moment. An exciting passage of play from the Eels goal line, and then back to halfway. Let's get the story on Jonathan Thurston. Tim Gilbert, good evening.
Evening, Bossy. Yeah, they've known pretty much all week that he's going to play. Hasn't trained much, but one of the local journos obviously knew, because as soon as Parramatta came in yesterday, he goes straight up to Daniel Anderson. How do you feel about Jonathan Thurston playing? And he goes, is he playing? Is he? So that's how he found out.
Here's Moi straight through, takes on the Mighty Mouse, and Gallant hangs on to Moi. Well done, fullback for the Cowboys. Now Mateo, and beautifully tipped on by Hayne. Tahu away for Burt. Then back infield, wrap around with Mateo. Burt back with the ball, 15 out. Hindmarsh tries to stand up Thurston. The Cavalry get there. Hindmarsh still on his feet, then loses it in trying to offload. Well, what an exciting start to this game. 5 minutes gone.
About 60 metres on the play.
And that is an extraordinary passage of play, that one.
Well, it's Parramatta of last year. The shackles are off, the confidence is up, the second phase ball's there. Offloads, Hindmarsh before the line, a pre-line pass to Moy. What about the bravery and the courage here by Gallant? How would you tackle that? Freddie?
Talk to me. Happy back there.
Jared, I'll stay in, all right? I'll call it out.
But Hindmarsh.
Wait for the outcall, guys.
That's the balance, isn't it, Joey? That's the balance. He didn't need that one. Quick play of the ball, they're off again.
Ray, head down, pull him in.
What a tackle. Shannon Gallant. Remember Moy last year when Carmichael Hunt tried to take him front on at Suncorp.
Now hold, Nate, I'll call
And he squashed him. Oh, no. Williams, a dummy half, has come up with a shocker. He knows it. And the pressure straight back on North Queensland. Rain falling here now at Dairy Farmers. We've got a plague of bugs that seem to follow around Freddie Fittler. So it's
an aerial bug this time.
It's interesting
They're not
conditions.
on the surface.
John Williams on play number 2.
Shannon, you have to hold him in.
I don't reckon he's being burnt up right at the moment. Eels get a big chance. And the man in the yellow boots, Hayne, out the back, juggled by Mortimer. And he's lost the ball in the tackle as well, on tackle number 1. So Hindmarsh, John Williams, Daniel Mortimer, all in the space of 90 seconds have coughed up the ball. But I don't think you can blame the bugs.
Arms over, Jeff.
No, he's never in control, Daniel Mortimer. Soon to be rushing to get in position.
Now Gallant goes centre field, and we've got Scott standing out of the scrum, the man who captained the side last week, head-to-head between these two clubs. It shows Parramatta with a slight advantage, and dead level here at Dairy Farmers. Although it's been a number of years since Parramatta won at this ground. We have to go all the way back to 2000. The Cowboys have won the last 4 clashes between the clubs here in Townsville. Here's Mason offloading for Thurston, risky ball off the leg of Thompson. Play on, big Carl Webb out of the centres, look out, on to Michael Barney, inside the 30. Hayne gets his man and takes him over the sideline. Great strength by Jared Hayne. Spun him around once and then spun him outside the field of play.
It was a great offload by Willie Mason. Willie Mason charges forward, and a great hit by Mateo. The ball out the back, and it was awarded 6 to go. A bit of inexperience. Carl Webb does well, doesn't have to play his hand. It was 6 to go. Barney takes on Jared Hayne, and really you got to think he was never going to beat Jared Hayne on the outside with 6 tackles to go. But a great tackle by Hayne.
Just thinking, we've gone 4 sets in a row, haven't we now, where the play hasn't gone past, I think, the 3rd tackle. But all the same, there's still a fair bit of excitement about it all.
Arms over.
Well, Willie's certainly doing what his coach hoped. Coming into the starting side, this is how he left off last week against the Knights.
Off the ball, stand square.
Parramatta have possession. Smith running into the clutches there of Bolton. Also there, Ash Graham, a number of former Eels in this Cowboys side. In fact, there's 3 in the back line, in Williams, Graham and Tonga. All 3 made their first grade debuts with Parramatta. Kalis tips it on for Hindmarsh, who again is looking to offload. And that is what came into the Parramatta game last week against South Sydney. Just outside their 30-metre line as Robson takes short down the right side, and then Keating was held up by Thurston and Bolton. Last tackle Parramatta, and Robson is the option at dummy half with that kick, but it is cut off by Shannon Gallant. That shower still lingers here at Dairy Farmers. What is it's been a humid afternoon. But cloud cover had been around for all of it. And Barney this time tackled 19 metres away from the Cowboys line. And Mason is back there to take the 3rd hit up. Again, another good sign. The first forward to take a hit up in the set. Now Thompson dummies as Byrne had come up quickly on the outside. Carl Webb looks to be in a good mood tonight as well, as Watts takes off for 15 metres and manages to get back to halfway, although now the rain is very heavy. As the Cowboys in possession for Thurston. 10 minutes gone in the match, and Thurston gets a low kick in towards Inu. Very cool, allowed the ball to bounce up into his chest. Then got away from John Williams. Now gets in a wrestle with Jonathan Thurston. Takes an assist from Bolton to get him to ground. Now Reddy comes to centre field. Picture's probably not conveying just how heavy this rain is at the moment. As Hayne with the ball. 5 metres short of halfway. Tahu comes into dummy half. He'll take a run. Really got the team going last week. Good try he scored off a Horro pass. As Robson goes to Mortimer. Then on for Mateo. Can't offload that time, and that's tackle 5 for Parramatta. This time they're 38 metres away from the Cowboys line. Maybe a test for Shannon Gallant. It'll be the first of the night here. Hayden's getting through on it. Up goes Gallant. Well, he's passed the test there with flying colours, although he lost it at the finish. 18 metres out from the line. Parramatta get a full set. Kalis to Keating. Keating offloads a ball to Ben Smith. And Ben Smith scores for the Eels. The little 5'8" sets it up. 12 gone, and the Eels are up by 4. Thurston blowing up about the ball taken from the catcher.
No, it wasn't.
So this is Gallant going up. They lodged a protest. There's a second man if they like. Hayne had a crack at it. Then Tahu had a crack at it. Tahu came up with possession.
Yeah, we see the Kuno replay there. That's what I like from Chris Keating. You see a lot of halves these days, and they're programmed to get the ball and pass what's on the outside of them. But Chris Keating sees a gap here and goes hard and offloads through the line. Good play by Keating.
We talk about the offloading of Parramatta. There's an intelligent offload. There's an intelligent offload after you run hard. Now, if you're running soft, it's a poor offload. It's a desperate offload. What you saw then was Keating hit a hole, look for some space, come from the other side, supporting the other side.
And the try converted by Luke Burt. And it is 6-0 here. Friday Night Football on Channel 9. And Smith nabs the first try.
Stay behind.
So here at Dairy Farmers Stadium in Townsville, we've had 12.5 minutes and a 6-0 scoreline. First time this year that Parramatta have scored the first points in one of their games. And for the Cowboys, the run continues. Now Moimoi has dropped it. Now this is going to creep into the play. This rain is very heavy. It's humid enough as it to start with. It's really uncomfortable here for the players tonight.
With those conditions, Bossy, when it rains and it's so humid and the sweat and the rain gets on the ball, it is so incredibly slippery. You see the ball there just comes loose from Fui's hands. He's not too happy, big Fui, but in these conditions, the ball gets so greasy. So concluding your sets, especially after points, is so important.
Once more, we've now got a bit of breeze about all this as well, just to throw into the inclement weather as the Cowboys get a penalty
Both officials are telling you guys to get
for
back in
offside. It is a differential penalty for offside from the scrum. So Thurston will stroll up to the 10-metre line
Wait for the kick.
with Mason ready to do the rocking and rolling, if you like. 5 minutes out from the line.
Straight up.
A chance to hit straight back. Watts, Thompson dumps it off there to Webb, who almost lost it down the right-hand pocket. He's only 4 metres from the line. Watts across and then goes wider for Thurston. Out the back to Gallant, fed on to Tonga. He can stand up a man. But a hat trick back in round number 4 against the Titans. Willie Tonga, night where he's opposed to Joe Tamane. And now Thompson with a dummy, and he's lost it in the tackle, and play on is the call very quickly. Mortimer gets onto the ball. So they rule the ball was passed and it becomes an intercept. Some would say no advantage there for Parramatta. And just diving on the ball. And the Eels have it 5 out from their own line. And Robson away to Hayne. And they rushed up quickly there. It was Scott who sort of flew in from left field to attempt to tackle. Robson away to Moi Moi. He's got a handle on the ball this time. He's as far as the 20. Big day on Sunday. A 90-minute special on the Footy Show. Will start at 11, go through to 12:30. And, of course, the Storm scandal is at the top of that. And a host of guests will attack it from the betting angle with the number of bookmakers. Will attack it from the CEO's point of view and the fans' point of view. Some very interesting reactions from the fans, in particular those here in Townsville who have a match against the Melbourne Storm next weekend. There's now Watts with the ball and goes away for Scott, and up came Moi Moi. Touch of the brute, big hit about it, and yet Scott was still able to offload.
Smell it from here, it was brute.
So Cowboys bolt to play it. 40 out from the line. Here was the confrontation. Moi Moi and Scott. Bit of sweat came out of that. 31 metres away from the line. North Queensland with the ball. Thurston. Kick over the top, but I don't think you'd call it deft. It's gone a little too far. And Hayne now has it. And he's collared in the tackle of Thurston. So Parramatta back in possession. Inu comes in for a hit up. And does well to get it off the goal line. Just to ease the pressure just a little bit. Now Joel Reddy. He comes across field, cut down on the tackle.
You can see the improvement in Parramatta already. The support play. Every time someone goes to the line, there's always someone there supporting, pushing up. The first couple of rounds, that wasn't there.
Tim Gilbert sideline.
Yeah, Vossi, just on the back of you talking about the special on Sunday, I might just let you take the play at the minute.
And it is Burt with the ball. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, back to me. Bottom line is, Daniel Anderson called a meeting yesterday. Of course, Parramatta were the runners-up last year. He said to them, I don't want any talk of what-ifs, guys. I don't want any talk of we should have won the premiership. I want you concentrating on football. So as soon as it broke yesterday, he got his team in for a lengthy meeting.
Another drop ball there from Daniel Mortimer. Paul Osborne, the Parramatta CEO, one of our guests in that 90-minute special on Sunday. We will look to attack it from all sides.
It's only 20 minutes into the game, or 20 minutes about, and they might be 6 points behind, but the North Queensland are winning this field position, which is crucial. Up here it's crucial. The temperature up here, the environment just sucks your energy. Parramatta better be very careful, especially bringing the ball out. They must have a very effective kicking game.
And Mason standing out from that scrum. Keating's having a good all-round game so far tonight. The 5'8" for Parramatta. Now Rapira, he's got footwork, he's got an offload in him. He's a good young player. Steve Rapira, as Watts now with it. 20 metres out from the line. Back away for Scott. I can tell you that Willie Mason has been replaced here by James Tamo. He's out there now. You'll see him shortly. Watts to Thompson. Spins it around on the fingertips. Thurston to Graham. He's only 12 metres out. Teo's across there to wrap him up with Mortimer and Hindmarch. Thompson dummy half quickly to the short side. Thurston loses it. And another drop ball. 18 minutes gone, 6-0 to the Eels.
Yeah, Freddie, you spoke about the field position and the cheap ball the Cowboys are getting, but the 10 sets they've had, they've only completed 4 sets. It looks like they're in these wet conditions, they're trying to pass their way to victory and create too much. In these wet conditions, sometimes it's just dummy and go.
Absolutely. Days like tonight, nights like tonight, you'd rather be defending down their end than having your ball in your own end. Defence is easy tonight.
Heads down, Jeff, pull together.
Scrum 10 metres out from the line. And Daniel Mortimer to work it. And Parramatta in possession. We had Toyota Cup here earlier. And it was a bit embarrassing, I've got to say, the match. The Cowboys won 50-14. It was 28-0, 5 tries on the board after 15 minutes to the Cowboys. And that defensive problem that permeates across the NYC was on show tonight. There was some very, very soft stuff. But a good win to the Cowboys. And the less said about Parramatta, the better in the under-20s. The Eels in possession. Hayne with it. Double spin. But held by the defence. There is Mason. And that young bloke, by the way, I had a chat with him before the game. James Tamo. I said, what would your dad want you called? A bit of confusion over the pronunciation. He said, no, it's Mr. Tamo. He's happy with Tamu, but Tamo is the name, so it's Tamo from here on, Joey.
I'll call him Tamo. He's 6'4". I can only imagine how big his father is.
Definitely Tamo.
19.5 minutes gone. And Tonga away now for Barney, coming in all the way from the right wing to take that over the left side of the field. There he is, James Tamo, former Roosters Toyota Cup player. And now Watts goes across to Bolt, intercept for Hindmarsh. Never had control of it, Bolt. Now Keating's got a chance. He's inside the 30. And in fact, he can now make it 25 metres out from the line. Smith, and infield they come with Timmy Manor. Outstanding last week against South Sydney. 15 from the line. One of the Cowboys has been hurt. It's Mortimer across, and then Mateo got a hospital ball. But they say penalty. Rapira is the man down for the Cowboys and will have time off. He's prone there, Steve Rapira.
Well, we've had 2 errors in 2 sets, one by the Cowboys and one by Parramatta. And they were both pressure balls in the line. In these conditions, you can't be throwing short balls in the line.
Well, with Rapira down.
No, they're all right. And you guys are improved too.
Trainers out there with him. We will take a break here in Friday Night Football. 6-0 to Parramatta.
Thank you, Dominic.
He was the Cowboys Rookie of the Season last year. Rapira, brother Sam, one of the stars of the Warriors side up in the front row. They're under pressure there, North Queensland, and big pressure at that. Dairy Farmers Stadium, Friday Night Football, and Steve Rapira is back on his feet, but a little bit of blood from the nose and plenty the worse for wear. Here was how it all unfolded. He was at the bottom of that tackle, and more or less the hip of Tim Manor falls down into him. That left him in pretty poor shape.
It's on the line, Mark, wait for the whistle. It's a penalty,
And following
boys.
that, a penalty to Parramatta,
Wait for the whistle.
where they got a little fortunate. Graham had rushed up with a tackle on Mateo. So Parramatta are close to the Cowboys line, to be played by Justin Paul. Robson, Keating, Hayne is lurking out the back. Keating is upended by Watts. A couple of carrot tops in the tackle. Robson, Manor, 5 away. And we'll look for a quick play of the ball here. He got a little twisted in the tackle by Tamo. Again with Robson, right in front of the post. Oh, he's hit the padding. He's close, Jeff Robson, a grand final halfback from last year. Manor back for Mortimer, steps off the left, runs back into the meat of the defence, and is met by Scott and by Watts. Last tackle, Parramatta, not their best set of the night. They come away for Hayne. He has to get a quick kick in, and there was Tahu, and Parramatta have their second try of the night, but it appeared to be that it would be safely diffused. Tahu comes up with the ball.
Just tell him we've got the clock stop, mate.
And 10-0 score.
Well, it shows how important the kicking game is in the modern era. Parramatta not doing too much that set of 6. Then Hayne on the Kuno replay, kicking off angles, and Tamana Tahu just wants it more than the Cowboys players and dives in. But look at the kick from Hayne off a different angle, kicks it through, threads the needle, and Tahu does well. But the kicking game, so important.
It's a great heads-up play. North Queensland were always short. They only had one option, just to sprint up. Hayne didn't panic, come off the left foot, put one in behind, and Tamana didn't let him down.
So celebrates game 150 with a try. And that is 3 for the season. That's a pretty fair tally, isn't it? 105 in 150 games. That is a champion strike rate.
Well, helps playing outside Matthew Gidley for most of his career. Come on, Freddie, give me a rap.
I was going to. Did you want me to bring you up?
Come on, mate. Come on.
So Bird, who kicked 5 from 5 last week.
You've been getting raps all day by a lady with blue hair. The Townsville stock.
17 metres out from the line. And Bird is successful. And the Cowboys now look down a 12-0 deficit. Tim Gilbert
these big Parramatta Ferraris, Hayne and Tamana Tahu, they're firing on all cylinders now, aren't they? It was that big hit on Jamie Simpson last week that really ignited Parramatta, and there we see Jared Hayne through to Tamana Tahu. A try, and Parramatta, they look like they're back, boys.
Well, they're getting there. There's no question of that. And Thurston extends the ball downfield off the boot, but boy, oh boy, these first half stats are really starting to be a real worry for the Cowboys. They just don't seem to be able to score points. They got the best second half record in the league and the worst in the first half. Go work that out.
Held 2. Release it now.
Conceded 117 points now in first halves this year, the worst in the league, and yet they've scored more points in the second halves than any other side. And now it goes away from Mateo, attacking the fringe. Rapira there to make the tackle with Graham. By the way, Gallant, who was wounded in trying to stop that try to Tahu, he's now got the head bandaged at the back for the Cowboys. There he is. He's battered and bruised, Shannon Gallant, and he's got some work to do here as Hayne kicks. It's over the head of Gallant. Doesn't have to be that high to do that. And in fact, the kick's gone all the way over the dead ball line. Which I'm sure wasn't the intention of Jared Hayne off the boot. But rain has eased off right for the moment. Now the Cowboys back off the restart with Bolton. 12-0 Parramatta. Smith getting the first try and Tahu the second. Sunday afternoon, it's a big one on the sacred day in Australia, Anzac Day, and we've got the Dragons and the Roosters. It is live on Sunday football. Our coverage starts at 3:30, and as I say, a very big footy show Sunday morning at 11, 90-minute special. So rugby league both on and off the field covered on Sunday on Channel 9 as Thompson goes across field. He's shown some spark for them. Tackled there by Smith. Last play, he's with Thurston under pressure from Keating. Got the kick up and will call Byrne into the play. It came off Barney, I thought.
We're calling you out, mate.
And they've called Barney offside, in fact.
Well, they just can't find their rhythm, Cowboys. Seems like once they get down here and finally do get to a kick, some poor discipline. They're always offside, calling offside. Well, and just an easy leg up for Parramatta.
I think it's Carl Webb that they caught out. I think Barney was in line, but Carl Webb was in an offside position and encroached inside the 10.
Well, he's just made up for it there, Carl Webb. A massive hit on Justin Paul and forced the error.
Tamo with the ball for the Cowboys.
He's been very lively, Carl Webb. Very lively.
Clint Amos now out there in dummy half duty. He's only his second game for the year. Matt Scott, and a good tackle there from Justin Paul. He walks off the mark a good 3 metres, Matt Scott. Thurston now with it, goes short to Bolton. He's got his fourth try for the year. It's becoming quite a combination. Thurston to Bolton, they want to check the grounding. I'll tell you what, I had a bit of drama about Scott's play the ball. He stole a bit of real estate. But Bolton's pretty confident, I think, that he's got the Cowboys' first try.
Yeah, he looks confident, and it's the favourite side of Jonathan Thurston. And he'd be disappointed, is Bolton going over. Does he get the ball down? Yeah, he gets it down. No problem there. Coach Anderson would be disappointed. I'd say they would have worked on this all week. See Bolton go and slams the ball over. It's no problem. But Jonathan Thurston, it's his favourite side to attack, his left side of the field, and when he gets the ball and goes to the line, it's a try.
So a try is awarded by video ref Tim Mander. He had a very easy job tonight. And the Cowboys on the board and kicking for 12 points to 6.
Now here's the error. Carl Webb, shoulder on the ball in wet conditions, forces the error. And Jonathan Thurston, it's a quick play the ball by Scott, but this is Thurston to a T on the Crino replay. Once he goes into the line like that, what's on the outside, it doesn't matter. You've got to wedge in on his runs. Once he goes over the advantage line and gets close to the line, he's always going to hit Scott there. You'd be disappointed, Daniel Anderson. I'd say they would have worked on that all week.
There's no surprise. Clint Amos, he's been on for a couple of minutes. He came on last week at the 47th minute. And at that stage, they scored 3 tries and got right back in the game, North Queensland. He's been on here for 2 minutes. Subtly comes out of there at dummy half, takes up the perfect amount of time, dishes the ball to Thurston, who does the rest with a lot more space.
Second stint in his career up here in North Queensland for Clint Amos, who only played the 4 games last year. But you see then in the Matt Scott play the ball, that's what the fans have trouble with over dominant tackles. I mean, Paws was a good tackle, and he had no chance to get to marker as Thurston converts because Scott walked off the mark 2 metres. Tim Gilbert sideline.
Yeah, one guy that really would have enjoyed watching Scott Bolton there is Mal Meninga. They've got him on the shortlist for Queensland. He's a really talented player. Came on as a 21-year-old as we look at the try again. Running off Jonathan Thurston, makes himself a real target, and I'll be very surprised if we don't see him in a maroon jersey sometime this year.
That footage of play, they would have watched that all week if they were thinking Thurston would have played. Once he comes in the line, he was always going to play short to Bolton. He'd be disappointed, the coach.
Well, it's an exciting contest. The drop ball's been a problem, but there's been some decent footy in between, and we're left with a 12-6 scoreline, 13 out from half-time. And now Matt Scott, who's worked pretty hard tonight, 14 tackles and half a dozen hit-ups for the Cowboys, 25 metres out from their own line. And now Graham comes in to get involved, made his debut for the Eels back in 2002. Going back 8 years for a product of Cairns, the Cairns Kangaroos. Here's Thurston now. Thurston goes flat that time, working the left side, and again it's Bolton. Right on halfway, and up gets Amos. And a tackle by Reddy, play on the call. 21 metres away from the line. Tackle finished off by Justin Paw. Now Thurston, last play, dummied right, went left, low kick, Haynes onto it. Haynes 5 metres out from his own line and then tries to take on Tonga. And he was all but threw it away there. Jared Haynes. Chris Ininu. Another opportunity in the shop window, if you like, for Chris Ininu. He won't be at the club next year. So on the lookout for a club. Now Tim Mena. Awkward fall into the tackle there. Scott and also Amos. Parramatta with Justin Paw just outside their 30. They start to shorten the passes. The greasy ball and the humid conditions. Try to steady the ship in this set. Going for a 40, 20 more off the boot. It's big.
Too much.
It's almost over the fence. Daniel Mortimer. Big contact, but not overly over the sideline. He went over the advertising hoardings as well.
Scrum, boys. Scrum.
Got the distance, but that's all.
He'll learn something this game. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's going to learn something. He had a couple of drops early on.
Stay with him, boys.
He threw the poor ball to Folletti. He's a tough kid. Let's see if he can dig his way out of this.
So, Cowboys get a chance to start a set inside Parramatta's half, and last time they did that, they scored a try to Bolton. And now Amos switches play. Tamo is 25 metres away from the Parramatta line. And 3 in the tackle, and they eventually get him down. No surprise that Hindmarsh is one of those defenders. He's already 16 tackles for tonight. Thurston away to Carl Webb. Looking to break through. But he's getting involved. Big Charlie. And now Amos to Thurston. Step and straighten and upended is Williams. Now with Amos. Thurston, 10 metres out inside forward, the call to Carl Webb. It's not a bad play to have a steamroller like Carl Webb running off Thurston on the inside.
Message for us then, Timmy.
A nice defence here. You look at Tim Manor on the inside. He was at marker and chased hard. He could see the threat on the inside. The ball was called forward. Looks dangerous, Thurston. The guy who made that tackle, Tim Manor, just went impressed with him this year, Freddie. I think he's a future rep player.
Plenty of impact last week. Him and Horror off the bench, although they made a massive difference.
Well, 40 minutes on the field was good enough to get him man of the match, Tim Mena, against South Sydney. Young bloke who played all 28 games in his debut year last season. Now Hindmarsh with it. So Mason is back out there for North Queensland. That's their strategy tonight. Keeping a number of their starting forwards out there, rotating. Good tackle, Tamo. That is a dominant tackle, folks.
Possibly a brute.
He's on there.
Comments from Brad Fiddler. The whispering Brad Fiddler. On halfway, Parramatta, Keating. And Robson. And now Mortimer. And it's come off the legs there, Willie Mason. I don't think Willie knows where the ball's gone. Now he's a chance to get it. He's got it. Mason is the biggest damn cowboy you've ever seen. Now it's Thurston. Thurston dummies and tackled by Mortimer. Only 25 metres from the line. Mason's back into the play again. And this time he gets the treatment from the Parramatta defence. 19 metres out from the line. Amos inside. Tamo back to Gallant. Gallant thrown down with one hand for Ledi Mateo. 15 away from the line. Amos works to the left side. Thompson, cut out ball. Tonga. Rennie rushed up, does a good job. Tonga was almost on his outside, but a decision made quickly by Rennie. Now Thompson's kick. It's there for Graham. It's a try. Cowboys have got it. And young Ray Thompson has set it up. His 5th game of first grade. I don't think Thurston could have done it better. 12 points to 10.
I've only seen him in a couple of games so far, young Ray Thompson, but he looks the goods. And he's not intimidated by the occasion tonight or intimidated by playing with Jonathan Thurston. You see he gets the ball here from the sideline, drifts across field on the Kuno replay, and a beautiful kick towards the far post. And Ashley Graham, a beautiful chase. But you see him running across field here. What he's doing, he's looking for the bigger gaps wide of the ruck. If he went straight and kicked the ball, the gaps are a lot tighter. Drifting across the field, there's bigger gaps. A special kick, Freddie.
Absolutely. I think Jonathan Thurston will be liking this. The play before, he's sitting on the right-hand side sweating for the ball. Clint Amos decided to go to Ray Thompson. They went to the far left. He lines back up on the right-hand side. He sees all the Cowboys here with their fingers pointing down to the ground. Delivers a beautiful kick. And Ashley Graham back over on the right-hand side, where he loves to be. Gives Jonathan Thurston a chance to draw the game up.
And 4 tries for the season crash. Graham got a bit of 5-8 last week against Newcastle. This is for 12 all. As I said earlier, lots of drop ball tonight, but no shortage of exciting rugby league. And Thurston converts. It is 12 all. At Dairy Farmers in Friday Night Football on 9. And the rain has stopped. The Bucks are contemplating going home. And I think we're in for a good rest of the match. Friday Night Footy in round number 7. And here in Townsville. And it is Tamu who has the job of bringing it back and running up there into the arms of Ben Smith. He's done his job. He's got it back to the 20 to start after their second try of the night. Now Tonga with the ball. So Parramatta led 12-0. And the fight back from the Cowboys gets it to 12 all. Smith and Tahu early. But, good work from the Cowboys and good metres now for John Williams. 5 short of halfway. Amos, Thurston, Mason. And Mason gets 5 metres inside Parramatta's half. Ledi Mateo was around his legs. Amos away to Thompson. And Thompson able to kick it to the corner. Now they've got a chance to trap Jared Hayne here. Barney right down there. In fact, I think if Barney didn't pause there, he had a chance to get Hayne over the sideline. He stood his ground and just gave Hayne just a couple of metres. Relief. Foul. There's risk there from Inu. Burns onto it. It's gone forward. They're all rushing in on Clint Amos. But Brisbane Inu has put his side under massive pressure right now.
It was a tough run for Inu. A slow play the ball, bringing the ball out close to the line. You see Jared Hayne picks the ball up. And it's a slow play the ball from Hayne close to the line. This is a tough run for Inu. And they pick him up and drive him back, and the offload forces the error. It would have been better just to get the head down and dive for the ground.
So Cowboys scrum base play, Thompson and Gallant. And look at Thurston wrap around, and there is Hayne to arrest him. 11 metres from the line, so from 12-0 down, they could be 18-12 up in a moment. Gallant to player, 8 metres away. Thurston inside again for Mason. Looking for a hole, he's run at Smith. The fans are really warming to the contribution of Willie Mason now. He's done 11 hit-ups tonight. Quick hands from Tonga. Cowboys are 5 from their line. So Parramatta need to defend out this set. Just try and stem the flow at the moment. Ball with Southern. This is the last tackle. Let's look for Thurston. He's on the right side. Second receiver. They just go short. Well, what about that, James Tarmo? It's called forward, but it was almost the ambush last play from the Cowboys. I don't think anyone thought there'd just be a last tackle forward hit it up.
Hold. Go, Tim. Go.
Well, certainly not the Eels' defence.
Wilkinson Amos providing plenty.
Now Joel ready for the Eels with 3.5 minutes remaining in this first half at 12 all. Let's go down to Tim Gilbert.
Yeah, set up for a brilliant second half, but they might have to do it with 16 men, the Cowboys. Bad left ankle sprain for Carl Webb. Probably won't be back.
Well, that is bad news. And in the meantime, Tim Monners got up over the 40-metre line with another one of those determined runs. And Webb was in pretty good form tonight. Haynes got a kick away, then got a bump from Southern, and I think you heard the referee say that's all right. Barney's onto the ball from the in goal. He'll want to straighten up quickly. Boy, he ran a wrist there, Michael Barney.
Well, what a kick from Hayne. And I like the chase from Mortimer. He's out of sorts. He's down on confidence, the young man. But he's just what he's got to do. Make his tackles and make his runs. Do the simple things.
Thurston, Rapira. And short side crowd not happy with the 10. Look at Rapira go. He's offloaded past Williams on the deck. And now they've played an advantage on that penalty for offside. So he was entitled to go another pass just to see where the ball was headed for the Cowboys. But there you have it. They've got the penalty. Thurston quickly for line. And the set will start up on halfway. So Amos on for Rapira. There's some mail that the Warriors pretty keen to get him back to New Zealand next year to join his brother. And now Mason with the ball. And, you know, if the Cowboys are to retain Jonathan Thurston, who's their #1 priority, they're probably going to have to shed a few players. And it might be young Rapira who is the one who leaves.
Good player, isn't he?
No, he's a good player. Real good.
Top player.
From the moment he came into first grade last year. Now Amos away to Thurston. Thurston 25 metres out from the line. He finds his go-to man again on that left side in Bolton. 21 from the line. Amos takes off again. Offloads quickly. Now some good stepping. It's Willie Tonga. And Hindmarsh makes tackle 24 for the night. Cowboys. Thurston. Out the back it goes for Thompson. Another kick. Burner's turned around and takes the safe play. Takes a touch in goal. And line drop out Parramatta.
And once again, Ray Thompson, beautiful kick. This is a hard kick. He gets the ball on a funny angle going quick, but slows himself up and has the skill to touch the ball in the end goal. Two beautiful kicks this half.
Cowboys completed 4 of their first 11 sets, have since completed 7 of the next 10. And in that time, have gone from 12-0 down to 12 all. Cowboys fans thinking they took longer than the 45 seconds, or the 40 seconds there.
He's just kicked at 60, hey?
And a juggle there for Tarmo. And he comes back and launches himself into Horro. To play at 42 metres out from the line with 30 seconds remaining in this first half. Mason, another good run. Offloaded there to Gallant. They're 28 from the line. Amos. Dummies to Southern. Goes short to Tarmo. Thurston's there in support. They're going to stretch them here to Parramatta's right. They don't get a quick play the ball though. It comes to Thurston. Now he straightens up. Switches play for Thompson. Thompson runs up right on half time and they won't get another play. Well, that is quite a dramatic first 40 minutes. We went from 12-0 to Parramatta to 12 all. And the Cowboys certainly finishing the better going to the break. They're level on 4 competition points going into round 7. And they're level at half-time on the scoreboard. Friday night football from Dairy Farmers Stadium. Stay with us, second half after the break here on Channel 9. Friday Friday night football, second half here at Dairy Farmers Stadium, and a 12-all scoreline. And Thurston fields the kick-off, and it's Tamo who brings it back. And yes, if you missed the top of the coverage, the story of Jonathan Thurston, only did some very light training this week, and apparently yesterday did a bit of warm-up before training, went inside, just did a bit of a shoulder test and actually trained with the side and he ball work, but declared himself fit. But out of respect for Grant Ravelli, didn't want to say, oh, well, I might play, I might not, just in case Grant Ravelli had to play. Didn't want to get any seeds of doubt there. So it's a big call from Thurston, inside 2 weeks back from injury. And well in time, well in advance of the test match in a few weeks' time. Now as Thompson got hit by Tahu, and they called it forward, but wasn't there a bump on Ray Thompson? He's just run in. It's just a dead set mosh pit collision with Tamana Tahu.
Well, Tamana's built like a semi-trailer these days. It's like he's been in the gym for a couple of years since he's been away from rugby league. You see young Thompson gets the ball and tries to commit. Tamana. Ooh.
Did you hear that?
Well, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Or could you smell it?
Here's Jared Hayne.
Could hear it.
5 minutes short of the halfway line. A little slow to his feet from that one. And Robson gets Justin Paul going. 3 origins last year. Justin Paul. Put out there for creeping forward. And now Hayne attacks the left side of the field. Yet to score try this year, Jared Hayne. 33 metres out from the Cowboys line. Tahu is not able to offload, ends up on his back. And a matter of centimetres from the sideline. Mortimer gets it going along with Robson and Mena, and turn and pass, and Keating is with it. Keating is wrapped up there by Bolton. Last play, Parramatta. And Mortimer quickly in position on this right-hand side. His kick is awkward, but it is fielded by John Williams. And John Williams has his best moment of the match on that return. Could have been dangerous there for the Cowboys. Now Willie Tonga, North Queensland. But this was pretty sharp work by John Williams here. Bounce up very close to Joel Reddy. The Cowboys on their 30. And Amos goes right side. And another run for Willie Mason. His first half stats, 6 tackles and 14 hit-ups. That was the highest hit-up count for any player on the field, and he had some time on the bench as well. He went off in the 17th minute, had about a 10-minute spell, and came back on. Now Thurston kicking down a pretty narrow corridor there, and it just rolled and rolled and rolled, and it'll be a 20-metre restart for Parramatta. Another first half stat that we noted was tackles inside the opponent's 20. The Cowboys had 31 tackles inside the Eels' 20 in the first half. And that was to just 6 for Parramatta in the first 40 minutes. So on that basis, Parramatta did pretty well to make the most of the few chances they had. Here's Hindmarsh, game number 267 tonight. Well, taken sideways in the tackle of Tonga and Bolton. And Robson to Keating, and then on to Ben Smith. Ben Smith sort of jinks his way, he's lost the ball. Now this will be a call. Referee Jason Robinson says it was lost by Ben Smith. Touch judge had a look at it. Pocket referee had a look. And Ben Smith, none too happy about all of that. You can be judge and jury at home on it.
It's a fair call. He's just rushing to get up to play the ball. And goes into Tamo's leg. Play on.
So now Deland away, and James Tamo. And Amos takes them right with Rapira. And Rapira won't be able to offload in this tackle. That's effective. 35 metres out from the Parramatta line. He lost it as he got to his feet. And it's a bit of a dolt moment for Rapira early in the count. Only second tackle.
He's a powerhouse, Rapira. His brother plays for the Kiwis. I don't think it'll be too long till they're both playing for the Kiwis. He's only 21 years old. He's come on since he's come to North Queensland.
You do wonder, Joey, how he got here in the first place, how he's escaped the net of the Warriors. He was in their junior system, and he ends up at Townsville with it when his brother's at the club.
You can't keep him all, bossy.
Salary cap.
Right on halfway, and Robson away, and with it is Tim Manor, 40 metres away from the Cowboys line. Robson. Gee, Parramatta are getting off the mark here a lot. I mean, you can keep cautioning and saying you're getting no advantage, but you could also take action if you wanted. There's now a very flat pass to Keating. He goes out the back. Thurston had rushed up, and Thurston will be rewarded for a bit of a drover's dog play.
And Chris Keating just trying to overplay his hand there. Went to the line, and it was a no-look pass at the back. Probably not needed. Cheap ball, cheap turnover. Now the Cowboys on the attack.
And it is Mason who cuts them forward. He's the Cowboy with a wagon there. A blue and gold one. Sunday, our 90-minute special, the footy show, the Storm scandal. We will cover it from all angles, all the latest news from 11 o'clock right through till 12:30 as Thurston kicks to the corner. Parramatta won't have to play it. And then later that afternoon, it's live rugby league on a Sunday afternoon, the traditional Anzac Day match. The Dragons and the Roosters from the SFS. Get along. It's going to be a big crowd. It's a very special day, and we'll have the coverage live from 3:30.
It's 2 in a row. Thurston's dribbled dead. He won't be happy with that.
Now Justin Paul, 35 metres out from the Eels line. It's certainly a game in the balance at the moment, both on the scoreboard and the way it's being played right at the moment. We're sort of playing between the two 20s now at 12 all. Here's Mortimer and Kalis. He hits and spins. He's 5 inside the Cowboys half. And this time it is Keating, that is Matt Keating now on to play dummy half. So the two Keating boys are out there. Chris Keating will kick to the corner. Gallant's going to race across to it. He's going to watch and hope that it goes dead. And we get another 20-metre restart out of it.
The ball's really running on here tonight. The set before Thurston put the ball dead. Normally, Shell's Pooch from that far, and that time Keating put the ball dead.
The ball with Bolton able to play it for Tonga. Tonga's able to run up, tries to set up Gallant. Now he can run. There's trouble here. Hayne gets across. Gallant is thrown down. I think he had the bandage taken off his head in the tackle.
What's the bandage?
He's lost the bandage off his forehead. Never seen that before. Thurston, Thompson with an obstruction possibly. That was the appeal of Parramatta, Horro. And now Amos to Thurston. Thurston goes out. Barney does a little juggle. Well, Barney is held by Mortimer and by Burt. Cowboys, Thurston, Mason menacing across field. Goes short to Bolton. He's held up 5 from the line. It was Reddy and Keating. Now Amos. Thurston short. And another ball to Mason. He's got another one away.
Cut off flag.
Willie Tonga has scored. And I don't think I'm exaggerating if I say Willie Mason. He's in origin form. He's having a stormer here. What about Big Willie, Joey?
Well, Big Willie gets the ball and floats across field the previous play and puts Scott Bolton through a hole. Any 5'8" halfback would be proud of. But here's the initial break. Beautiful ball by Tonga. And Gallant down the side. It looked like he's going to score it. He gets scalped. The bandage is gone. And then Thurston, his pet plays, the side he loves to attack onto the Kuno replay. And Big Willie, just too hard to handle.
Like Keating in the first half. He's running at the hole, he's running through the hole. That's when the offloads are effective. Willie Tonga, just off his hip, he knows where to run.
17 hit-ups, boys. Willie Mason, a handful of offloads. Am I getting carried away, Joey, on what you're seeing tonight in front of your very eyes?
No way. He's in origin form.
So this kick for Thurston to take his record at the moment to 22 from 22 this season in the NRL. but it's also to give the Cowboys a 6-point lead, a game where they trailed by 12. Over to JT. Bit of a miracle that he's even playing. From 10 metres in from touch. Here he goes. Jonathan Thurston. He's got another one. You'd have him kicking for your life at the moment, JT. It's 18-12.
I need another step on the 10. They're calling you.
So restart of play here at Dairy Farmers Stadium with Luke Burt, and the Cowboys are in front for the first time in the match. And they are, or were, the outsiders in the betting markets coming into the game, and then word got around last night Thurston could be back. There was no confirmation out of the Cowboys about it. In fact, no confirmation all afternoon. As Freddie made the point earlier, it probably robbed them of a few fans who, thinking without Thurston we're not going to win. Had they known he was playing, they would have turned up here tonight. There's plenty of empty seats up high. Parramatta led 12-0 after 22 minutes. The Cowboys didn't get their first try until the 32nd minute. Now by the 51st minute, they're in front by 6. Thompson, pressed by him tonight. Burt fields the kick. And chased downfield by Ray Thompson. Moi ready for his second stint in the game. One earlier tonight by Fui that was ended by Shannon Gallant was an amazing piece of play. Let's go down to Tim Gilbert.
Yeah, just a quick one on James Tarmo. He's getting his shoulder strapped at the moment, but question mark on whether he'll be back. So the injury toll building on the Cowboys. Just a question for Freddie. Willie Mason was sipping lattes. No one wanted him at the start of the year. Now, you've coached this guy. Joey just mentioned Origin form. Can he be a Blue this year?
Well, Willie can do whatever he wants. The conversation I had with Willie so many times was just talking about the influence he can have over the other players. When Willie's motivated and he wants to do something, he can be an absolute, the best positive role model and best influence you can have on your footy team. Now, if he doesn't want to do it, you can have the other effect. At the moment, he's firing all cylinders, so anything's capable.
Willie Tonga to play at 25 minutes out. Remembering it was only February 4 that Willie Mason was signed by the Cowboys, and then a few days later before he got here. He was shopped around everywhere bar eBay in the off-season. Now here is Matt Scott. He's over the 40-metre line. Watts is back on the dummy half, and let's not take away the role that Amos played here tonight. It was an outstanding contribution off the bench, as it was last week. Now Thurston, he'll drive this one and take it out of play. So change the tempo of the game here, the Cowboys, now that they're 6 in front.
Well, there he is, Jonathan Thurston, just controlling the spirit of the game. Knows his forwards, how his forwards are feeling. Probably got a whisper from one of his forwards that they're under fatigue, they need a break. Puts the ball into touch.
More importantly, he knows how Parramatta feel. As a visitor up here, getting driven down in your corner and bringing the ball out of there is an awful place to be in North Queensland. Hot, sweaty.
Let's go, arms over.
You watch him now rally his forwards, asking for another special effort.
So scrum one, and it is Joel Reddy. He's had some tough runs to do tonight. No open space for him to run. And the Eels with horror. Gee, I see a lot of walking off the mark with Parramatta. It must be just me, but even Joel Reddy on that previous play. It just goes on all night. Away they go. Tahu with the ball, and at some stage the player will get penalised out of the blue. Here's Mortimer with the ball, just over the 40 for the Eels. Wrapped up there by Rapira. And now Nathan Hindmarsh, almost a halfway. Passes short. There he goes with Hayne. Hayne is thrown down there by Scott and Watts and Bolton. 3 in the tackle. Now Matt Keating to his brother Chris. And Chris to the corner. Shannon Gallant across to it. He's had another good game for them, the man at the back. The Mighty Mouse, the former Tiger.
It's a better set by Parramatta and a better kick on the end of the set. Now they've got to defend this set. No penalties, no errors in defence.
Preston goes short to Williams. 15 metres out from their line. The Cowboys, one-headed scoop almost forward to Tonga. It's quick play though. And then Barney is the meat in a Kalis Moi sandwich. Thurston inside to Scott.
Held 4. Move. Up now.
Have a look at Moi come in. He's almost taken Kalis out as well. Here's Thurston. Right at halfway. That'll test out the back muscles, that tackle. And now Watts tries to kick over the top. He'll regather. Anthony Watts pins the ears back. Watts has passed. It may have come off a boot. It's now scooped up by Thompson. Well, I thought he may have thrown it up in the air and a boot swinging round collected it.
But where did that come from? I've no idea where that come from.
That's a coach killer. Henry be sitting there just going, no, no, yes, no.
He showed some speed. He gets the ball there. Look at him do up Jared Hayne on the outside. I don't think Hayne gets a hand on him. Good play.
So Parramatta in possession, but wanting to be next to score in this game. We know they can come back from anywhere. They've come back from a 20-point deficit against Manly in their first win of the year. But I don't know, as Freddie says, in these conditions, you want to be any further than 12 down. Moi, strong run. Over the top of Thurston. Keating, ready. Up to halfway. Sends Inu away. Inu's inside the 30. Here comes Luke Burt. Gallant's getting back. He's got the ball. But another great passage of play in this game. We're in for an exciting final 24.
Well, it's all about taking your opportunities. The Cowboys at one end, Watts chipped and chased. The try was on offer. The ball went down. And then that time, the second phase play, which Parramatta are renowned for, gets into high march and tracks 2 and 3. And then the short passing. Oh, Fui just ran over the top of JT. And they get Inu down the side, and you see Luke Burt on the inside looking for the kick inside. I think the kick come off the side of Inu's foot, and Gallant does well to cover up.
Now a line drop out. It was missed, the attempted trap. Now they've said all feet there, the referees.
I think he's been working on those kicks. Have you noticed all his kickoffs? They come out spiraling.
By the way, the change in the 2 referee system tonight. Jason Robertson's been the control referee pretty much the whole lot. In fact, if not all of it. I'm not watching the 2 of them the whole time, but Tony De La Ceres is just in a support role as the pocket referee.
And there's been only 5 penalties awarded. Is that a coincidence?
A bit of consistency interpretation, I suppose. As now, Monners got a ball back and then offloaded. And Tahu's got his second, but Feleni Mateo has produced a bit of Mateo magic. I don't know whether that bloke saw it, but someone tell him his side has scored.
They're painted over his eyes. He's persisted with that pass. We shoot down the blind side again. Daniel Mortimer. That's about the 3rd time he's come over that pass. And Feleni Mateo gets a nice little offload again, running hard at the line.
Yeah, it's big man on little man. Mortimer goes to the line and isolates Ray Thompson. And Feleni Mateo, what a ball on the Kuno replay. Daniel Mortimer, well done, persistence. They got big man on Ray Thompson the first time, went back away from him, then come back at him again, and Tahu over.
And it's another one to Tamana. 106 tries now in 150 games.
Playing outside Daniel Mortimer.
First saw him when he was playing, I think it was for Cardiff High School. You know what he was doing back then? He was scoring tries. Can't remember he played out at the outside.
He scored 4 tries that night, Ross. I remember watching him. I don't know who were playing, but he was smoking.
18 all in Friday night football. Well, what a game. We thought this would happen. 18 all, and still the final quarter of the match to go.
You're right with those kickoffs, Freddie. His experiment, that was a top spinner.
I watched it against the Dragons, the first one. He got a restart back from him. He's had a couple of them this year.
And now Moi. He's had an impact since coming back on. He only played 35 minutes last week against South Sydney. I think they'd like a few more minutes than that out of Fui. Grand final try scorer from last year. And now an error. A killer from Horro. Just as they had a bit of momentum happening. Justin Horro. An error.
Tonight's games of entertainment proudly brought to you by the Townsville City Council. Register now for the welcoming baby ceremony at
There's a stinker. Trying to play it too quick.
A horror.
It's pretty good, Freddie.
Thank you.
Well, that's no good, is it, for Carl Webb? The high ankle sprain we heard from Tim in the first half. And
look at those eyes.
He's back in the civvies.
Quite scary.
I was always scared of playing him, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I've said it before, he's a rugby league exorcist. He will scare the devil out of you. And remember that night in Origin back in 01 at Suncorp Stadium, a try in the corner where Dead said he would have run through every New South Wales player. As the Cowboys make an error now with Ash Graham. We went through a little passage of play in the first half where this happened tit for tat for about 3 or 4 minutes. We're in a bit of a rut again now, and this is at 18 all with 20 to go.
Can we see if Tim Gilbert, is the insects having any effect out there with the ball control?
They may well be, because there's about 1,050 of them. The rain tends to push them away and then they come back. But one thing that I did want to comment on was the referees. Now, we've all been critical of them this year. This formula is going to work, I guarantee it. You've got the senior guy, you've got the other guy just keeping an eye out on it, and it makes sense. Neither are trying to put their imprint too much on the game.
So there he is, Jason Robinson, just to explain if you missed it, because it sort of went by the by once the salary cap scandal broke. But in 5 games this week, even though 2 referees out on the field, the senior referee will control all the game from the control position, and the younger, more inexperienced referee will be in the pocket position. As you can see, Tony De La Serres there, just controlling the ruck and keeping his eye looking for stripping penalties and the like. 30 metres out from the line. And away for Chris Keating, who kicks to the gap between Gallant and Barney. He also kicked at the post. Now Michael Barney's got some work. Michael Barney's hit front on. Mortimer was first there with Hindmarsh. Lucky to stay in the field of play, and now they come up on Graham for Lenny Mateo. They're 2 metres out from their line. It's a blue and gold wall at the moment. Except it's a wall that moves. That time Kalis on tackle 3. Tackle 4, and they're 15 out from their own line.
That's a strong run. That's a courageous run.
And a smart one. Straight at Daniel Mortimer. Smart run.
So the Cowboys with Thompson, they come to centre field. Southern, risky ball to Thurston. Then fielded by Gallant. It is tackle 5. No Parramatta hand in there. Thurston, they need a result here. Someone bolted out to John Williams. He decides to kick. And it's down the throat of Jared Hayne. But at least they got a kick in on the end. Hayne ran back at Thurston. Surrender! Back to halfway.
Jared Hayne got tackled a set of 6 previous and was holding an ankle. He looks quite ginger out there. I'll keep an eye on him.
Now Kristen Inu to centre field. And they're 45 metres away from the Cowboys line. Keating, Kalis, so that's Matt Keating, a dummy half, and his brother Chris still at 5'8". Matt Keating, loose ball. Inu's hurt. He was just walking back with the head down. Didn't know the ball was coming his way. Mateo's got another one. Topped the NRL in offloads back in 2008 for Lenny Mateo, and then last year missed a lot of footy with that ruptured bicep. Here is Fui Moi Moi. Got about 3 months off last year, Mateo. The difference it makes when he's back, if he finds his best form. Now Chris Keating looked to go left, then goes right, and is 29 metres away, last tackle. At 18 all and 17 to go, Jared Hayne tries to put his stamp on it. Well, he's missed the ball and he's taken Shannon Gallant out like you wouldn't believe. But they've ruled knock-on first against the Cowboys, and what followed after that, they're just going to say, well, that's just footy. But he has hammered Shannon Gallant.
Have a look at the courage here by Gallant. Hayne the chip over the top. Now, Jared Hayne, we all know he's a superstar, but he is 100 kilos. He's just made of muscle. And the impact there, Shannon Gallant.
It's fair game for mine. Gallant's put a hand there and has touched it. And then Hayne's gone into him.
There's nothing in it.
No, at all. It's football. It's a football collision here. It's a nanosecond between Gallant playing at the ball and getting a palm to it, and courageously standing his ground and copping the hit full on from Jared Hayne. It can happen, and it just did. And Gallant looks like he's gone 10 minutes with a Kodiak bear.
With Carl Webb.
The headband stayed on.
Line has it, guys. Steve!
They say when a bear attacks, your best option is to stand still. Poor Gallant did it, he got smashed. Anyway, Parramatta with the ball. 10 metres out from the line. Here's Jared Hayne. And he's wrapped up by the defence, but now the ebb and flow of the game, it's back Parramatta's way. Here's Hindmarsh. Has got a few offloads away tonight. 41 tackles, 9 hit-ups, and now with Mortimer inside. Kalis, the co-captain, hasn't scored for 2 years.
Just check it, mate.
And the video referee's going to check if he scored here.
Stripped out there and check grounding, please.
Nathan Kalis off an inside ball from Daniel Mortimer. And the preacher man, Tim Mander, has a decision to see if the deadlock is broken. Ball comes loose. They are allowed to do that in preventing a try, and certainly that is what Matthew Scott was doing. But it's ended back up with Nathan Kalis to the point where I think you might even say here, I don't know, you might even say Parramatta 6 to go, which would be a most unusual one. But
how do you get that back?
That's what I'm saying. He's ended up back with a ball. If he hasn't projected it forward, it's play the ball 10 out with a full set of 6.
And Matt Scott rakes the ball and comes off Matt Scott's head, and then Shannon Glenn goes to collect the ball, and somehow it gets back into Kalis's hand, and he's held up.
A little wobbly.
Yeah, a little wobbly, but you know, if you can have a benefit of the doubt, regather of the footy, that's what I'd rule.
Yeah.
I got no dramas if they rule Parramatta play the ball in a set of 6 again. No try the call.
Your guys have stripped it out, which is fine, but then they've knocked it on, so it's a goal line dropout.
Goal line dropout.
So there you go. So they're saying, what are they saying? So they're saying ball stripped out, knocked on by the Cowboys in goal, so a line dropout for North Queensland.
Maybe they're saying,
but is that a greater advantage for Parramatta to receive the ball from a line dropout or to play the ball 10 out?
I think what they've ruled is they're saying that, well, you're allowed to strip the ball out, but it's an infringement. So we go, the infringement, the penalty becomes a dropout, not a penalty try.
But I'm saying Parramatta's greater advantage was to have a play the ball 10 metres out with another set of 6, given that Kalis finished with a footy.
Well, here they go.
Here they go with Mortimer. But this is tackle 3, and now they're only 15 metres out. Or rather, tackle 2, 15 out.
Yeah, but they've got momentum, they've got rhythm.
Matt Keating goes inside to Moimoy. Good challenge. Scott's been left behind Moimoy. That hurt the front rower for the Cowboys. He's got a dead arm now. Keating, Mortimer, out the back to Hayne. On it comes Tahu. He's already got a double. And he was held by Barney and Thompson. The Eels with Mateo. 18 all, 15 to go here at Dairy Farmers Stadium. And Mateo unable to offload that time. Last tackle might be a kick coming out towards Joel Reddy here. Mortimer's with it. Here it goes. They've launched it. He's good in the air. Here he comes. Joel Reddy copped a bump. Ball still loose. It's knocked off there. The Christian It'll be a try to Parramatta.
It'll be the last tackle.
It was definitely knocked back from Parramatta. It could only be some sort of illegal interference that would deny them the try. But I reckon who scored.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bossy. I think it's a try. Beautiful pinpoint kick from Mortimer. Deliberately kicks for Jonathan Thurston there. You see Thurston with the headgear, trying to isolate Thurston and get Joel Reddy over the top. The ball's competed for. And then the crumbs come out and Reddy knocks it on. Knocks it backwards to Inu. It's a try.
It's a try.
The ball comes out. He just knocks it backwards. Smart thinking from Reddy. And Inu over in the corner.
Could be 22-18 in a moment. Tim Mander wants another look just from head on to look at some interference, but Thurston contributed as much as Joel Reddy did there on that replay and getting to a sort of a block position. I don't see how they could deny this to the Eels.
That's a try for all money. But it's a smart kick. Instead of kicking towards the winger, where wingers are trained and practice catching, they kick to the smaller man in Thurston.
It is a try, and Parramatta is back in front.
Inu did a great job there by holding his width. We talked about Daniel Mortimer in the first half. He's answered all the critics. He's come out, he's laid on a couple of tries. His defence has been great. Beautiful kick there to take the Eels to a 22-18 lead. Great reaction.
See Thurston getting his right knee looked at.
Again. It was interesting what Willie Tonga was doing. He was trying to play some sort of interference as well. Ball came down 3 metres away from him. They had enough players there, the Cowboys. They had enough. They matched Parramatta man for man. Yet the Eels ended up with one more. Now, to get in front by 6. 2 very good kickers on show tonight. It's off the post and over from Luke Burt. They lead by 6. Tim Gilbert.
Yeah, this is a massive 13 minutes for the Cowboys. Neil Henry was absolutely ropeable after their performance last week, and he put it down to them then. He said, you guys have got to be better than this. You weren't good enough as a first-grade football team. We're paying you too much. Here's 13 minutes to prove him right, or wrong.
Interesting, Jonathan Thurston didn't kick off there. Ashley Graham kicked off. Thurston's parked himself out here on the left wing. Obviously hampered by that right knee injury. He's limping noticeably.
Yeah, he's got a new problem now. We hope that it's probably only a cork maybe around the knee rather than any sort of thing structural. But he's in a bit of distress at the moment as Moi takes another big run. This is 2009 form for Furry. Then offloads, and Keating was at the end of it. Hindmarsh, Chris Keating. Chris Keating takes them on. Tried to squeeze between Tonga and Thurston. Parramatta. The Spinnaker is up now. Nathan Hindmarsh. This is where the offloads can finish the Cowboys off. Cowboys defence needs to stay tight here. Matt Keating, last play. Chris Keating with the ball. Kicks high towards the corner of John Williams. Reddy's there again. Tonga ran the interference. And Williams has the ball. It's a very fine line between getting penalised and providing legitimate protection on a kick.
Yeah, great job by Tonga. Protected his winger well. So we get a clean catch on the ball. What about the charge from Moi? It's as thick as he is tall and as wide. It's not tackling the cube physically. Yeah, physically, I mean. But look at the size of him.
And now the ball with Ash Graham. And he is back outside the 30. They've got another trouble.
I don't know where you tackle him. Look how thick he is through the chest. Thick and wide. Physically, I mean.
Scott Bolton's now injured for the Cowboys. He's limping as well. They can't all go out on the wing. Here's Hayne trying to rush through the centre. Tamo made the tackle. Now the ball is with Horro. Threw a lovely pass for a Tahu try last week. Chris Keating, he's been good tonight. Moi's ready for another run, and out the ball comes.
Well,
he's been bruited. He's been left behind by James Tamo. Well, that's how you tackle Furry, Joey.
Tamo. He just showed everybody in the NRL that's how you tackle Fui.
Well, I think Tamo may have pulled a sledgehammer out of his sock.
Oh, yeah, WWF stuff.
Have a look at this. A collision between two giants. That's a very big hit, my friends. And here's Tamo again. Tamo. And now intercept. Joel Reddy comes up with the ball.
It's unfortunate for Tamo. He's been outstanding tonight.
Tayo's down for Parramatta. Kalis is offloaded. Mortimer's got a ball. And he's 35 metres away from the Cowboys line. No fullback at home for the Cowboys just for a moment. As Hindmarsh goes forward, he's inside the 30. They lead 24-18, 10 and a half to go. Field goal takes it to 7. Chris Keating, 15 out from the line. Hayner's position right side here. Matt Keating, Hayne, switch of play, Mortimer, then on for Mateo, little skip, wants to squeeze an offload, can't find Tahu, does find Burt, off the ankles with the ball, Luke Burt. And he is 11 metres out from the line, last tackle, Chris Keating sets it up for another kick, it's worked before, let's do it again. Thurston was knocked down by Parramatta, Bolton comes up with the ball.
It was Fui. Fui was up for the bomb.
It was in too, Phil.
Boys are getting excited here. Fittler's up on his feet. Here we go. There's Fui at the back. A flying Fui. And now the Cowboys. Mason, another run for Willie. Plays it 29 metres out from the line. Just one interchange left for each team. Tonga menacingly looked to go on the outside there of Inu. They controlled his fend. Watts, Mason not with the same pace this time. Up came Moi Moi. And that is the last tackle, 5 short of halfway. Need a big play here, the Cowboys. Thurston, he'll kick as deep as he possibly can. It's cut off on the first bounce by Hayne. He's in jog mode. Back comes Jared Hayne. Now he sizes up the defence, and it's Thompson and Rapira who make the tackle with 9 to go. Good kick by Thurston.
The last thing they can do, North Queensland now, is panic. Although the last couple of times they've had the ball, you know, some silly offloads. They've just got to keep going forward, get the ball in the corner and wait for an opportunity.
Held the lead only briefly in this game. The Cowboys at 18-12, having trailed by 12 points to nil right up to the 32nd minute. Trailed 12-0 from the 22nd. They had to wait to the 32nd minute to get their first points of the night. On halfway, Parramatta. Keating, and on it goes for Manor. Timmy Manor takes another run, and he's 40 metres out. Last tackle now for Parramatta. Keating to Keating, Matt to Chris. Chris to the corner. And it's touch in goal. Friday night footy will break. The Eels up by 6. There's 8 to go. Dairy Farmers Stadium in Townsville, and a grandstand finish here. Cowboys at the moment, though, at the wrong end of the field. Michael Bain. There's a hit there by Ben Smith. Possession has evened up a little in this second half. Erican still being high, but it hasn't taken away from the excitement of this one. Tonga, tackled by Chris Keating. Now John Williams, Thurston, Mason, dumping it off inside. Willie's looking to offload again, but they've managed to get him to ground. He still leads the hit-ups for both teams tonight. Willie Mason, the highest count. Thurston, in fact, it's 22 runs for Mason.
And all quality.
Last tackle for the Cowboys. Gallant to Thurston. He kicks low back towards the posts. Keating's there. Burt gets to it first. Burt's with the ball. And he's tackled by Watts. Another player 10 metres out. Chris Keating. On it goes for Inu. Inu doesn't offload. They just want some steady footy here, Parramatta. And got all twisted up there with Anthony Watts. Well, they go very flat and short with that pass. But over the 20-metre line. Matt Keating. Tim Mena's in there. He'll make another 10 metres. And Tim Mena has done his job on that hit up. Gets them out of trouble. And up to tackle 4. Lays a platform as they lead up towards the kick at the end of the set. Justin Poore has done the same. So the last 2 hit ups have taken them from basically the 20-metre line towards halfway. Kick over the head of Gallant. And another one that's rolled on for a 20-metre restart.
It wasn't deliberate from Matthew Keating. The ball's really rolling on tonight on this surface. Gets their opportunity, Parramatta, to get their line set. Wonder how much petrol's left in the Cowboys tank.
Well, they've made their last change of the night with 6 to go. Southern's off and Matt Scott's back out there. So the 13 you see on there are going to finish this game that may go to extra time if the Cowboys can score next. You'd back Thurston to kick the goal. Short ball there to Scott off Watts. 48 out from their own line. North Queensland chasing their 3rd win of the season, as are Parramatta, as Mason dribbled out of the hands of Thurston. Went back, Tonga to Gallant. He's off again. Shannon Gallant passes inside. Smith ends up with a ball, and Gallant had to pass. He was headed over the sideline.
It's hard for them to look wide. Every time they get the ball back here, they just hover around the ball. They're not spreading the Parramatta defence at all. They're showing nothing on the edges. When they go to the edges, there's only one bloke on his own, so when he looks back inside for support, there's no one there.
And the Eels played by Poore. Keating to Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh is over halfway. And wrapped up by Scott. Now we are getting to field goal time with 4.5 to go. They're on tackle 4. Hayne will get them inside the 40. Do they just go for position, or do they look to snap one here? Burt's in position. Here we go. Luke Burt off the boot. It's going to swing away to the side of the posts. That would have been the 7-point lead. Instead, it's another 20-metre restart for North Queensland, and they need to pick it up. just sliced it a little there, Luke Burt.
The Cowboys will come to their left again. Willie Tong has looked dangerous. Every time they've come to this edge, they've created opportunities.
Have a look at the right, Joe. There's the winger.
There's just no balance, is there?
There's no one there.
So on the restart, it's Tamo with 4 to go in Townsville. A reminder, it's the Anzac Day clash on Sunday, Roosters and Dragons. It is live from 3:30. And our footy show Storm Scandal at 11 o'clock for 90 minutes on Sunday morning. Big day on Channel 9 and Wide Water Sports at 10. As here is Mason for the Cowboys. He's only 39 metres away from the Cowboys line, but right now they need a little bit of magic. Thurston can provide it. Not this time as Smith and Chris Keating hit him. Inside 3.5 to go now. Watts bolted in 2 minds there. Had the left arm free with Tonga in the vicinity. Last tackle. Thurston kicks over the top, but it's an easy one for Hayne. They get no result there. They get no result at all. Hayne is back over the 30.
It hasn't been his night tonight, Hayne. Hasn't had many opportunities, but he's played tough. He's brought the ball back strong. Some of his dummy half the runs have been really strong.
Here's Mortimer for Parramatta.
He's played really tough, Hayne.
2 minutes 45 to go. Eels in the box seat. They've had to work hard. Manna almost got away from Mason in the tackle. 8 metres inside their own half. They've shown their hand. If they're anywhere inside the Cowboys' half, they'll look to snap a field goal and put this game to bed. Mateo, that's been knocked down by Parramatta. In fact, they'll say the Cowboys first, I think. A hand on the way back from the Mateo pass. Got to the ball. It'll be knock on against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Stay down, Shannon.
For Letty Mateo, he's got to learn sometimes it's the passes that they don't throw that makes a great offloader. In this time of the game, with 2 minutes 13 to go,
Arms over, Para.
that ball was not needed. Luckily, the Cowboy hand was in there, but probably didn't need to be thrown by Folletti.
Para, stay bound.
And now Parramatta are deliberately stalling play here by breaking up the scrum. No, this is a classic, this scrum. Can you believe this? It's 2 to go, 6 the difference. Have a look at that scrum. Here's Keating away to Reddy. Reddy is 45 metres away. So the Cowboys will get one more set in this game, but I don't know whether they get any more than that. Ball comes loose. Well, the message hasn't gone out about offloads.
Halloween, the pumpkin's wrong.
Now Luke Burt. And Justin Paul makes a good run. Paul is 23 out. He offloads to Mortimer. Mortimer on to Mateo. Mateo was taken sideways by Graham.
Someone's got to tell him to score.
20 metres out from the line, and they lead by 6. They don't need to score a try. Now the ball, Keating, dummy there from Manna. He's 15 metres out from the line. They can finish it off right here and now. Burt's in position again for the Eels. It's Hayne, they will take the shot. Hayne from in front, he's missed as well. He's pushed it out to the side.
Well, they're dancing shoes. They're not kicking shoes. Look at the colour of them shoes. They're not made to kick goals or to drop kick. I think he had too much time, mate.
So Cowboys have got one last shot. 45 seconds to go. It's with John Williams. Heads to centre field. They need more than dummy half runs right now. Watts gets into dummy half. 24 to 18. Thurston short to Mason. Nothing short about Willie. And he's tackled 47 metres out from the Parramatta line. I don't know what I just said. Thurston's with the ball. He goes across field to Thompson. Floats it possibly forward. It's put down by Graham. And it's put down the glasses. Parramatta. Back-to-back wins for the first time this year. And their third of the season. Well, what a contest. They led 12-0 after 22 minutes. Yet midway through the second half, they trailed by 6 and have come back to score the last 2 tries of the game and win 24 to 18. 4 tries to 3. But a game that has been big on entertainment tonight in Townsville, albeit with plenty of mistakes. Thurston made the comeback from injury unexpectedly, but hasn't been able to lift his side to victory. Parramatta to 6 competition points with a 24-18 victory. And the Bundaberg smooth move, the Bundy smooth move from the second half. The Parramatta try that got them in front. It was came out of kicking in the second half that got them the advantage, but Mortimer's kick across field. There's plenty of Cowboys jumpers there, but that little tap on from Joel Reddy proves to be a decisive play. And Inu, as it turns out, scores the match winner. Let's head straight down to the ground, and our man of the match is with Tim Gilbert.
Our Channel 9 $1,000 man of the match is Fui Moi Moi. Fui, it became a different game, didn't it, when Jonathan Thurston was playing?
Yeah, we know he's going to come back this week, and we get ready for the big game.
You don't get hit much like James Tarmo hit you today. That was a massive hit.
Yeah, it's a big boy, man, and you know what you're going to do. He's a big boy, and I know he's going to give me a big hit, so...
You got back onto your feet well. Now, it must have been a big shock to you guys hearing the Melbourne Storm story yesterday.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that, so we leave it for I feel sorry for all the players, and that's it.
All right, you had a wonderful game. Congratulations, Fui Moi Moi, our $1,000 Channel 9 man of the match.
Thanks, Channel 9. Thanks, mate.
So here's some of the action of Fui Moi Moi. His second entry, if you like, to the game was quite dynamic and really did lift the side. I said during that run that was the 2009 form. That was one hell of a tackle from James Tarmo. He certainly hammered Fui there. So big night of footy here on Channel 9, but still more to come after the break. We'll have all the injury news, all the reports on the doubleheader. But a victory to Parramatta here in Friday Night Football.